Okay,
Yeah,
we're recording. We're good. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
sorry.
You're good.
Okay. Thanks for reminding me again.
Yeah, that's all good. Okay.
Okay, so we were back at going as like kind of like not voting, but as a team deciding what we think like are the most necessary items, like the first key items, and then also ranking them into the column C.
I put water purification tablets number 1.
Yep. That's what I put too.
I put the map number 1.
Map number 1. What about you? I forgot.
Bruce.
I guess.
I have no idea because I'm still pulling it up. Thank you. What? Number 1 was the tablets, the water tablets.
The water purifications. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a tough one because the map was up there for me too, but not. I just thought water for sure number 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that what you're saying makes sense, Grant, that they could drink the water and probably be fine. They'd probably have diarrhea or something, but
yeah,
worth it.
I think at the end, like, there's 2 ways that they're going to solve their problem. They're either going to go as a group to safety, or they're going to send a couple people to go get help. So they're either going to stay together or split up.
That's true.
So if you're going to split up, the people need the map to figure out where to go get help and how to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was also thinking compass was very high for me because thinking if they could know which way they came with the compass, they don't need an actual map. If they know they came east, they know that that's the way they have to go back, you know?
But when you get up into the rivers and if you don't know how to use a compass,
Yeah,
the compass isn't really good to you. Like a map, you figure out where you are with the waterways, and then it's fairly easy to follow the waterways to the road and then the road to the town to get help. There's less chance of getting lost once you figure out where you are with a map. But the map is only so good too. You also need the canoe to go downstream. So items to fix the canoe might be important too. So like duct tape to fix the tears, and maybe to some less degree the rope. I don't know how you would use the rope to fix the canoe, like holes. So I had, the map number 1, then duct tape to fix the canoe, and then the stuff for.
What canoe?
Well, they have 2 canoes with.
In the story, I was just looking on the ranking of. Okay, I see your point. I was like, okay, did we take a canoe?
Yeah, we have 2 canoes. One has an 18-inch hole, and the other one has 2.
Now I remember that part. I was thinking survival versus, okay, we got to find, So I was thinking.
So I guess it depends. Is it 2 days to go get help with 2 guys going? Or do you want your 5 or 6 days waiting for the search party?
Well, I also was thinking. Well, I was thinking use the duct tape to fix the 2 fishing poles that were broken.
Yeah, that's something. So I think duct tape's high too.
Yeah.
Duct tape might be number 1 because it's going to fix your canoe, fix your fishing poles too.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
My thoughts with all the things like the map and the compass and stuff, they don't really help much if you're dead from water toxic. If you don't have water, you can read the map, you can use the duct tape, but if you're dead or you're sick, they're not really useful. So those are just my thoughts with the water and the food.
But I think with the water, with them being rain, like how often it says it's going to rain, you're going to run into fresh water. You're going to need something to maybe catch it, but you'll still get some water. And I don't know Minnesota water, but in the mountains here, you could always find a fresh spring to drink from that feeds into the rivers.
Let me tell you something. When I was in the military, purification tablets was a must. No matter if you've had 20 rivers around you, purification was a must because of dysentery. It's easily to catch dysentery when you're out in the wilderness. And to be sick because of the water, you don't want to go there. And so we were always having to, that was one of the number, that and dry socks. If you, because if you have wet feet and you can't walk because of fungus in your feet, you see.
So.
I just like the water purification tablet. Sorry.
That's fine. I had that fairly low.
And the food, of course, that was number one, number two. For me.
So, with what I read earlier with consensus, whatever that was, are we supposed to, did that mean that as a group we gotta vote for whatever it's mentioned?
Yeah.
Like as
So
a,
I guess yeah.
The group ranking, I think we need to put in there, right?
Yeah.
so what do we want to do as number one, since we have lots of arguments about it?
Should we vote, or can we vote?
We're not supposed to vote, but I don't know. But if we vote, I think it's obvious which one is gonna win. But I don't know.
Well, just like consensus, we can just say, hey, is it okay for like as a group, even though we may not like personally agree, is it okay if we put number one as water purification tablets or food or whatever?
Yes, Kylie, you please.
So I guess what are our options? Water, pills, duct tape, or map? That's only kind of the ones that we've discussed so far.
I personally put water purification very high, number one. But I do think that after what you said, Grant, that duct tape can fix pretty much like duct tape, and like you were saying the map, and I don't know, all these other things, but the water purification sound way more reasonable thinking about it.
Well, I to think of the map, I mean, that would be number three, because if you tire from lack of water and food, map is great to have of the region, and compass being
But I
number
guess
four.
too, we got to decide: are we staying put and waiting for the rescue party, or are we splitting up and sending help?
Yeah.
Because if you got to find water. I mean, if you run out of water, you got to find it. Food. If you run out of food, you got to find some food.
So
somehow.
can you get help faster by sending 2 able bodies out ahead?
Yeah.
Or waiting for a search party, hoping that they find you in 5 days, but it could turn into 6, 7.
That's true.
So I think that's what we need to decide. What is our plan to survive this? Are we splitting up? Because the person with a broken leg is going to slow the whole team down.
Yeah, can do. Well, I like the idea of having the 2 people, like they're good to find a way rather than
And that way
wait.
they're just paddling and going as fast as they can down the waterworks.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a day or day and a half or 2 days.
Way better than 5 or 7, so.
So I guess that's what we need to decide first, is what is our survival strategy. And then that will help us determine what needs to happen with all of our gear to make that a possibility.
Well, knowing that they're going to come get us in another day or so, right?
Well, you got minimum 5 days.
Okay.
They'll even start looking for you.
Right. And
I don't know, like, what do you think, Ashley or Kylie?
I'm trying to reread it to like decide what I think.
Because how many people do we have?
6.
6.
And only one person suffered a broken leg.
Yep.
Several others have cuts and bruises. Well, I think if there were more than one,
Now, bears are not uncommon in this region. So if you're out and about in the wilderness, you could be eaten by a bear.
I was like, the people that we do send out as well, they could like get lost or not. Like, just saying, like they could get lost or they could not find anyone and end up like.
Well, but if they have
Yeah.
the map, they know exactly where the town is.
But also, when it says rain is frequent during the day, nights too, and can be life-threatening if the temperature is cold. So how many days will it take them to get to town? And, you know, they got to seek shelter too, because the temperatures ranges from 25 degrees to 70.
Yeah.
Now think about that. Wouldn't it be better to everybody stay in the group and seek shelter of some sort, build a fire, put together some ideas, fix the fishing poles, go fishing, bring in some food. You know, you see what I'm getting at? Everybody's surviving versus trying to
Well,
find a
I
way
wish
out.
I wish I knew the schedule better, but
I know and then you got
it's
somebody
minimum
hurt.
5 days before anyone starts to look.
Now, if they have that whiskey, they could put it on those cuts, and you know, that would help.
Yeah.
Sanitizing.
But I'm wondering if my, like, I guess the way I thought about it, if two or three have to stay and 2 or 3 need to go, can the ones that go, like, you're no longer sightseeing, you're no longer camping and enjoying the trip, you're going as fast as you can down the river. So if you can get help in a day or 2 and get help back within a day, you're only surviving 3 days instead of a minimum of 5 or 6, hoping someone finds you, hoping you can survive long enough to stay alive.
I say let's just go with the idea that we're just trying to sit and survive to some degree because we know they're going to come find us in 5 days. Just so that we can,
But that's
I
when they
think
start,
we should
though.
try to fix the canoes and stick together.
yeah,
That's what I think.
Going.
stick as a group. Yeah.
It says your task is figure out how to survive in these unpredictable and possibly harsh conditions until you get help.
I don't
Yeah.
want to sit. I don't want to like sit around and make a camp, but I don't want to. I don't want to split up and sit and then
Yeah.
around. But I do think we should.
I think splitting up gives you the speed, but is that worth the splitting up risks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which
I moving towards.
I made that decision to do that. So my rankings are based off of 2 groups, a speed group and one that's just trying to survive a couple days until help can get back.
Because, like, I mean, I don't know. It seems like with a broken leg, if you could find a way to wrap that up, you could and fix the canoes. You could still go on your trip.
Don't you have to portage a couple spots, and that's going to be a pain trying to help that person walk around the waterfalls.
And Grant, you got one person who's got a broken leg, and it does say that several others had cuts. You don't know how severe these cuts are.
And
And bruises. Okay, so it's not like just one was injured.
no.
So how many? We don't. It says several others. But because that's cause for infection. That because they've lost their first aid kit.
But I just go back. If again everything goes well, I could get help in 3 days. Then waiting for 5 for them to start to look.
Yeah, but if that group actually gets lost, then they don't only have to look for the people behind, they also have to look for the people that left. So
The other
they'll
2 people, yeah,
Well, yeah, for sure there's risks.
'cause they could be eaten by the bears.
Yeah,
So,
they'll never be
but
found.
I think though, from the way that we've been talking though, duct tape is probably number one because that fixes the canoes, that fixes the fishing poles. It gets us to survive.
Yeah, I could switch duct tape to number 1 and then food and water to number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could.
Okay.
So that are we deciding duct tape is number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then which one did you guys think is more important, water or food? I personally
Or
think
is
it's
it warmth? What
Or
will
warmth.
kill you first? Hyperthermia, starvation, or water deprivation?
Water poisoning.
water.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had water purifications very high on my list, so I would go with water next, but we have to decide as a group. So
So duct tape and then water.
do you
Purification tablets.
agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had water purification tablets, food, and then matches, because I do think matches are high on the list for sure. But I think food and water before matches.
Okay, so
So-
do we want to do water second and then
Food.
food is
Okay.
Well,
okay.
No,
You got
I had number 3. Well, be number 4 in this sense, as the map of the region.
Yeah, I had the
Before-
compact
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the map is 4.
map.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree with map as for? Because now we have the duct tape, we have water, we got food. Now map.
Yeah.
Grant, are you okay with that?
It is. Well, I'm don't want to say that I'm outvoted, but my strategy was to split up. So I had the map as number 1, duct tape as number 2, and then the flotation devices as number 3 as people leaving to get help.
So I
Okay.
had the flotation devices pretty high too. I had this number 6. I don't know how high that is, but out of
Then I
14.
had number 4 as the matches with sleeping bags as 5, and the extra clothes as 6 to stay warm because I figured hypothermia will kill you before starvation or lack of water. If you can't get dry and warm,
Were just a set of clothes for 3 people and they were wet, and since it was gonna rain there was no point of them, they were never gonna dry. So I mean I did
Right.
have them high on
you
the
could
list.
find some shelter. I'm sure build something or. That's just how I had it voted. So ranked is I figured hypothermia would kill you if, like you said with the dry socks, if you could get some dry clothes and keep rotating the clothes to dry clothes, even if they're not yours, they're still dry. It still helps keep you warm.
Yeah,
Sure.
who do we decide gets the clothes though?
Whoever's
know.
cold, which if you're able to build a fire, you should be able to dry things out and have some warmth. But
So does anybody think that matches should be before we get any other things beside, like, I don't know.
so what's
I
number 2 with
I thought sleeping bags should go before the wet clothes. Just
Yeah. I thought
I had the wet clothes as 6, sleeping bags as 5, matches as 4.
yeah, I think that's good.
Because
Uh-huh.
like I said, I figured hypothermia is going to kill you before. Now, if it was desert conditions, water would probably be a lot higher in my rankings. But they're getting poured on. There's plenty of water. I'll risk a little bit of sickness if I can get help in 2 days.
I guess I was totally thinking different.
Yeah, no, and that's
Yeah, I have completely different numbers too. So I don't know what should be next for us because we keep throwing out all of these
So
items.
we talked about like the matches and the sleeping bags
Yeah. So which
The
one do you
mostly.
Yeah, matches I chose as number 9, and sleeping bags number 6.
I don't even know sleeping.
because yeah.
I have sleeping bags as number 12.
And number 5 was set of clothes for 3.
So which one? What do you guys think? Should we do matches before the sleeping bags, or sleeping bags or clothes before the matches? Because
I would do matches first because you can build a fire.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
would.
think-
Well, I also think you got the map as number 4. Number 5 should be the compass. Should that not be?
I had the pretty high, but
I
Grant
had
brought
the
up-
compass very low because if it was me, I don't know how to use a compass well enough. I would rely on the map.
But how would you know where you were?
You can't. You got to orientate your map.
Yeah, you gotta. But if you start
gotta
following the
orientate it,
rivers,
but you gotta-
following the rivers, you should be able to see.
But you got to orientate it
River?
to north. Wherever north is on the map is north on the compass. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's why it's
Yeah.
higher than that, because if you knew you came from north, then it's easier to go back north rather
Right.
than going on the map where you don't know where you are.
but if you know
Right.
the map, yeah. I just didn't think that you needed both of them. I was going to rely solely on the map and use either geological points to figure out where I'm at. Because
You would be totally lost, Grant.
what?
Sorry. You would be totally lost.
I may be.
But you can take a compass and you can intersect yourself and you can do resection and find yourself on a map. But you can't just take a map and just figure it out. I'm just saying.
Well, if you, I figured
I've been through map
follow
orientation. It's very
the
difficult.
nooks and crannies of the river.
When you're out in the wilderness, everything looks the same.
So should we do the compass with the map, and then we can do matches next?
So we do compass is 5 and then matches is 6.
Does that sound good?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so number
Wait,
7,
so I'm not doing my sheet. What do we have as number 2?
we had water purifier tablets is number 2, and then food number 3, the map number 4, compass number 5, matches number 6. And then I had the parachute cord as number 7, but there's a lot of other things we haven't mentioned that I have previously with that. So I don't know what you guys think. Well, I feel like now we have duct tape. So what are we doing with the duct tape? We're trying to fix the canoe.
The canoes. Yeah.
Canoe, that's how you say it. Sorry, I don't know the actual word for it. So what else do we need to fix them? Like, do we just need just duct tape and then that should be fine? No, right? We need other things. No?
Also, random side note.
Yeah.
So, can we agree that the yellow frisbee needs to be like number 14?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Let's just put that. We'll just put
When I
that.
saw this, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get 1 point for this because I cannot even imagine you using frisbee. But you never know.
Yeah.
But the insect repellent is second last. But maybe you would really need it up there. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Second last, I had the same. I have the insect repellent because I don't know why I would use it.
It just seems less necessary than the other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do
I had the whiskey as last. It's like why would somebody take whiskey? But of course, I wouldn't.
I just have it.
I think the whiskey is probably dead last. Like the frisbee, you could use it to catch water if we're worried about water.
Good point.
Or you can use it to disinfect yourself, like if you have cuts or you're hurt and stuff like that. That's like the only thing that they have.
Or
I
I
think-
told them like staying warm at night. I know that. I mean,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. My husband was a drinker in high school, so stay warm when you drink.
Yeah, so
I
look
think
at that.
that's a false warm though.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't think I don't think drinking would be very wise in this situation.
No.
Yeah.
So let's put whiskey as dead last.
That's for the guy with the broken leg.
Yeah.
So
Give him-
the insect repellent should be like second to last.
I had it as like number 9 because, like, again, I split the groups up. So if you're sitting there in bug country, you might want the insect repellent.
I say that's number 10.
Okay, let's go back to number 7.
Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, it's like let's.
Okay, so we
get
got
it out of the way.
water
know.
purification tablets, we got food, we got a map, we got a compass, we got
I
matches.
missed it again. What did we put matches as?
6.
Hmm.
And what was 4? The map?
The map, yeah.
And what was 5?
Compass.
Compass.
So I would say the sleeping bags are
I think
really
sleeping bags-
important.
Yeah. They didn't say how many, but
Well, there's 6 of them.
okay.
Like, I would say that's more important than the compass, but that's me. I'm gonna die with my map. I'm gonna die with my map.
So does everybody agree? I don't agree with having 6 sleeping bags before, like a lot of other things. I had them as number 12 because you can sleep anywhere. I feel
what about fishing poles? Wouldn't it be good to have fishing poles?
Well, I put sleeping bags next just because
What's going to kill you first?
degree weather and it is so cold at
Like,
20.
what's going to kill you first? Hypothermia, or the food, or the water?
You don't think that it's that cold. It's really, really cold.
Well, it's 25 to 70 degrees, so it's gonna be
This
like
is hot.
25 degrees, maybe.
Below
Tried to take our
freezing.
little baby camping in 20-degree weather once, and we
So
didn't.
I think we should move all of the temperature stuff closer to the top.
Yeah.
Like food, you can go 2 or 3 weeks without food and survive.
No, you can only go a few days without food. You can go like if
Yeah.
you have
Without
clean
water.
water. You can go like a week.
Right.
me when I try and have a diet and or like not eat, I can't go more than 2 days without food.
But hypothermia
Yeah.
will kill you in 24 hours.
That's why, yeah, I see,
I
understand.
think sleeping bags should go next.
Okay.
And I think we need to, like, let's get that kind of a basis. I think we should go through them again and really see.
Well,
Yeah, so we just
if it-
rank them right now, and then we decided if we want to switch anything later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all have to have our individual scores and then match, like find a
Mhm.
score for group score and all that. So okay, so now we have the sleeping bag. So now we're sleeping. What do we do next? We wake up the next morning. What do we do?
So sleeping bags is 7. We're doing
yes.
that.
so we could go with the set of clothes, 2 fishing poles, or the flotation devices that I have no idea why we would need those, unless we're splitting into a group to go down the rapids some more and drown. Because remember, there is more rapids that we're taking these canoes down, not unless you want to carry them to that river.
So real quick, the meeting might kick us off, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure why, because it's like 40 minutes on the one that I have.
Yeah.
So it might kick us off. I'm gonna see if it goes, but if not, I'll send you guys like my personal meeting thing and start a meeting that way. So
Okay.
Oh.
just
Okay.
that might happen. I don't know why it's like freaking out at me, but okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's keep going.
So,
I think that the parachute cord.
Right.
before
Should
we
we-
go any further, our strategy is to sit and wait for help to come find us. Is that what we're basing everything off of?
I think we should try to fix the canoes and go together. You know,
Yeah.
we won't be able to go over as fast as we would before.
I think we are getting mixed up of what our strategy is. Because if we're going to try to leave, then the flotation devices are very important. They should be 2 or 3 with the duct tape. If we're sitting and waiting for help to find us, they're not as important. So I
Well,
guess we just need to be consistent with what our strategy is.
see if we can make it out there without needing any help.
Yeah. So if we're going to be trying to leave, then the flotation
Sorry about that. I don't know. You're muted. Real quick. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's just me and you right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's just you. Okay, there we go. There's Bryce.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yay.
Yay.
Sorry guys, I don't know what's up with my Zoom. It just was like, hey, let's kick everyone
Everybody
off.
out.
Yeah. I was like, that's so rude. I'm just waiting
Did
for
you
Graham.
schedule it for 30 minutes or so?
Yeah. But we'll be good since it's on like my personal like meeting thing. So
Yeah.
okay.
Is everybody here now? Yeah, I think we are all here.
Yeah. So Grant, you were talking about, I think it was like the flotation devices, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think we keep changing our strategy,
Oh yeah.
which depending on what strategy, certain items then become more important. So I think we need to keep in mind, because yeah, if we're going to leave and try to get to help as a team, then flotation devices become important. If we're just going to sit and wait for help to find us, they're not very important.
So are we sending, what you're saying is we're going out as a group to
Well,
find help? Or are we going to, if we're going to split up in two groups, then
there,
there are things that are important for group one and then things that are important for group two, because if group one doesn't make it, then it's survival of group two.
yeah, no, there's three options. You split
Okay.
up, you either
But-
all go or you all stay. We just need to decide which one we're doing so we can plan to use our resources accordingly.
Well,
I think that we're bouncing back and forth.
Well, I've seen too
One
many
doesn't.
I've seen too many scary movies where they split up and it never works out. Just saying.
Well, and I think by like putting some things lower on the list, we're not like Xing them out. We're just saying that like other things are slightly more important. I don't know if that's not quite what I want to say, but it's like putting them lower doesn't mean they're less, like we don't need them. They're just not as important as the first.
Yeah.
Like for example, if we're going to try to canoe as a team, flotation devices are more important than the extra set of wet clothes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Where if we're sitting and stopping, trying to dry those wet clothes become more important than the flotation devices.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we just need to determine what our strategy is so then we can plan to use the resources accordingly. So like our number one is duct tape. Well, we're going to fix the canoes.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to fix the canoes, then the map or the flotation devices should be 3 or 4, not 10, 11, or 12.
Well, I don't think they should be ahead of food and the water purification tablets and the 6 sleeping bags, because those are the 3 things that's going to keep you alive. Whether you in the canoe or not.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're floating down a river, you only have one canoe to haul 6 people plus supplies. You might have to start making what stays behind because you don't have room. Unless you can fix both canoes.
How many of you guys have been on like float trips?
I've
I
been
have-
on 1 or 2.
I've been on one too, with my family, and I'm telling you, every freaking time a rapid came around, like my littlest brother, he was like 10 when we went, and he was getting thrown off like every single rapid. And maybe this, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you, Grant, that it should be up there somewhere, because if we're in the water, and if the first, like, if the original problem is that we all got like kicked out of our canoes and like they broke, like we would definitely want a flotation device.
Well,
So-
everybody should have a flotation device. They should all be wearing jackets, life jackets.
Isn't that is that is
I
that
think
what is that what that is? No.
That's what I'm thinking. I would think.
Yeah.
Let's see if
So
there's-
either way, it doesn't really matter. Like the rank, like we all have our different opinions, but we just need to figure out what our strategy is
Mhm.
to help us with our rankings. So if we're going to leave as a group, then we need to think about it. We're leaving as a group. We're moving down the river. We're going to be on the water. Wet sleeping bags, wet clothes might not be as important as the life jackets for the chance of being thrown and personal safety.
Yeah.
If
I think water and I think duct tape, water, food, then maybe life jackets.
and if we're leaving, then we either rely on the map or the compass or both.
Okay, let's take a look. 15 to 18 miles away is the closest road, which is arrived at by paddling through lakes and rivers, and usually taking the land path around numerous falls. Second, the closest town is 60 miles away.
Yeah, we're gonna get there way faster by water.
Yeah.
Well, I think you got to get to the road to then get to the town, though, don't you?
And it's starting to rain. And it says Saragana, whatever the name of that lake is impossible to cross in bad weather, generally because of heavy rain.
Yeah. But either way, we just need to figure out what our strategy is and stick with it. I feel like we've been flip-flopping around. We just need to decide what is the strategy.
We
If
should
we're
all
sticking-
we should all go to prayer and find out what.
Oh, we already said a prayer about it. So
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we all could agree that number 8, or as of right now, the next thing that we should worry about is the personal flotation devices, right?
yeah, for
Okay,
sure. If
Let's
not,
go. Let's go with that as number 8. We can redo it again, but as of right now, let's have like a basic list of like what we think as a group is just a little bit more important than the others. Is it okay with everybody?
yeah.
The,
Okay. And then next, so now we have the personal flotation devices. I said the claws were number 9, but before that I did have the parachute cord before that. But I don't know, we have been talking about clothes a lot, so I don't know if you guys agree that clothes should be next, even though they're wet. And then they gotta be decided who's gonna wear what.
well, again, it depends on what we're doing. If we're going down the river, we're going to constantly be wet. They're going to be wet, so they don't matter. If we're staying put and there's a chance to get them dry to help someone stay warm, then they become a little bit more important.
I mean, someone is injured, so he has to stay warm no matter what. You know?
Yeah. But if you've been on a canoe in a river, you're going to get wet. There's no staying dry.
And I'm not sure if I would want to be in a canoe with a broken leg. I'm sorry. That's just, because you're going to go down some more rapids eventually.
And you have to portage.
Yeah.
Would you want to
So-
split up?
No.
I think
I-
splitting up is the best chance.
I think
Because
I don't think so. I still think staying together. I mean, a broken leg is,
Yeah.
but it's not doable. I mean, it's still doable.
Yeah.
But can you survive 7 to 8 days with a broken leg sitting still in hypothermia conditions?
No,
Well, you got matches. You can set a fire.
30 matches. That's
Yeah.
it. Takes like
Or do you-
5 matches to start a fire.
Or do you take the risk and 2 people go get you help and you're found in 3 days?
Or these 2 people can be lost and never
Well,
come
that's
back.
the risks. You die of
So-
hypothermia in 4 days, you're
Yeah, I don't want to split up.
Yeah, I would never split up.
Even if I had a broken leg, I would be like, I don't want to split up. I'll take one for the team, whatever pain I'm caused by sitting in a canoe. I'd rather go in the canoe than be hypothermia or eaten by a bear or rained on all day. I don't know. The alternative seems worse than the.
Okay, so we're going to go 60 miles to the nearest town.
Are we?
Flotation devices, yay.
there's risks no matter what we do. But so we're staying put and hoping the rescue team finds us in 5 to 7 days.
As of right now, Grant, I think so.
Okay.
I know we're staying together. I don't know what we're doing together, but we are staying together. it
Well,
looks like.
With the broken leg, you can't. That's just too much to add. Like if it was just canoe riding the whole way down, it's probably doable. But if you have to get out to walk down waterfalls and
Not gonna
dangerous
happen.
rapids, that starts to become dangerous. People trying to help you slipping into the river itself, So I still think there's less risk if you split up. 2 people get more risk. The other 4 just sit there and wait to be found.
So you're saying that let's leave 2 people possibly die while these 4 people gets found and survive? I would never live my life again if something happened to those people and I was the person with the broken leg.
Yeah,
so.
but in 24 hours, if the whole group's dead because of hypothermia,
I mean, we were all together. I don't know.
It seems like every movie I've ever watched, the problems always start when they split up.
Yep.
Yeah.
See?
I'm sorry, I know that's like my Hollywood answer, but Jurassic Park, I mean, I can keep going.
but so we're sticking it out and waiting for the search party.
Sure. Yes.
I don't know. I still think we could carry the person. It would be slow going, but like if there's this, we can take turns like getting that person.
And again, if you look at the last sentence, your task is to figure out how to survive in these unpredictable and possibly harsh conditions until you get help. So,
Oh.
yeah,
So maybe waiting around is the actual objective.
that's what I'm thinking.
To wait around or just like, I don't know.
I
Waiting
mean,
around together.
Yeah, to survive until you get rescued, whether that means you're moving or whether that means like just survive
I
until you get
do
rescued.
agree with Ashley. I
Yeah.
think we could take terms with the guy that has the broken leg. Like I
don't you
think
remember Tom Hanks when he had him and his little coconut buddy, and or the little soccer ball or whatever, and that was his. And so he tried to get off of the island several times, but he couldn't. So he finally just started, you know, putting stuff out and trying to write in the sand, SOS, SOS, because they until, you know, you give it some time for them to try to find you first, because if they know your location, you came down to Rapids, so
Yeah, but they're not looking for you for at least 5 more days. You're just sitting there for 5 days before they even start looking.
Well, we're not
Well,
sitting.
again, we could, with that many people, we could easily build shelter, or you know, and also fix the fishing poles, go fishing, pull some fish out, be able to eat, and with some matches and some fire.
So do you think if there was,
One match per day to set the fire, you know, because you got how many matches? I mean, 30 matches.
Yeah, so let's do fishing pole. Fishing poles with number 9.
Okay.
Ooh, yes, back
Bless
on
you.
task. Good job, Tia.
And then do we want the parachute cord at all, or should we just leave it for the end?
Well, I think the parachute cord is a good thing because
Oh, too.
if you have to like bind up that person's leg,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like make it stiff, right? Isn't that like what they teach you in first aid?
Oh
Like,
yeah. You got to put 2
Very
pieces of
limited
limb.
knowledge
Yeah.
of first aid.
Yeah. You're right.
Have, like, 2 sticks and like something to wrap around it. So the
Yep.
rope is kind of essential for that.
Make it
Okay.
stable. You could use the duct tape and some. Yeah.
So should we put that before the fishing poles, or should we just keep it as it is, and then number 10 the parachute cord?
Yeah.
Because we can.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So next we have wet clothes, whiskey, and insect repellent. I think we can. Well, I don't know if you guys agreed, but I think we mentioned earlier that insect repellent wasn't that. I mean, didn't seem that great, so we can put that as number 13, and then makes it easier to choose between clothes and whiskey.
Yeah, bugs are annoying, but they're not life threatening, right? I mean, not that I know of.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And what do you guys say? I think we said that clothes are a little bit more important than whiskey for whatever reason you're using whiskey. I think it's more
Yeah.
important. So whiskey would be number 11, and whiskey would be number 12.
I'd put whiskey as the last, like the least important.
Number 14.
Yeah.
What
But-
could we use frisbee for?
It was like, what did you put above the frisbee?
Well,
Yeah.
13, frisbee could be 13.
I still think you could use the whiskey to clean the cuts and stuff, so that makes it at
Yeah.
least more valuable than the frisbee.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but again, if you're going down the river, you're going to get wet. You're just going to recontaminate any of the cuts and scars anyway.
Yeah, but
But
at the end of the
I
day,
thought we were going to stay.
Oh, I thought we were saying it's weird going down the river.
Oh, I don't know.
A little upset.
I mean, regardless, even if like I'm taking breaks to get out and walk because 70% of it is land and 30% of it is water,
Right.
I'd still want when my leg is dry to have it cleaned out by whiskey. I mean, if nothing else.
Yeah. It looks like they have nothing else, so whiskey would be.
I would never play frisbee in this scenario.
Boost
You're not
morale. Boost morale. No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
Here, catch the frisbee, broken leg guy.
Okay, so do we have all the numbers filled in now then?
Not
We
yet. I don't know what is set of clothes. What number is that?
Clothes were number 11.
11.
So do you just want to go down the numbers from the top to the bottom just so that
Yes.
we have the right ones?
Right.
Okay. Duct tape is number 1.
No,
Sure.
just go from the top down.
Yeah.
Oh, top. Okay. So, do you want me to read what it is, or just to say numbers?
Start with just the numbers. If I get confused, I'll have you say what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I got 3, 4, 8, 9, 11, 14, 2, 1, 12, 13, 6, 10, 5, and 7.
Perfect.
What was after? Went pretty fast. Let's see. What is what did we say whiskey was? 13?
Whiskey was 12.
12.
And then
Insect repellent was 13?
yes.
Okay.
And then
And
6.
6, 10, 5, 7. Okay.
Okay, so after we reviewed this, does anybody have anything else they want to add? Or we review it or anything that
I think I've said my piece and no one agrees with me.
I agree with you that the flotation devices should be up higher. I just don't know at what point and what stuff should be moved down. I think that's the only one that I'm like, that one probably needs to be higher.
I think we have food and water a little bit too high, to be honest, given the conditions that we're in. But we'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out what the expert rankings are.
Oh, yeah.
right now. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Ready what? What are
Ready
we doing?
because I have other things I got to do tonight.
Yeah.
Are we group number 3, right?
Are
No. 8? Number?
I think
don't
we're
know.
group number 8. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was just in group 3.
Expert
Okay.
opinion. The big answer for them. The correct answer are based on the opinions of 2 experts, Jeff Stemmerman and Ken Gieske of REE Outfitters, both of whom act as guides of canoe trips to the Boundary Waters region. The experts agreed that the best course of action for the group was to repair one of the canoes and send 2 of most experienced and least injured people to paddle to a road and got to Grand Marais for help. Because a search party would not even leave for at least 5 days and might not find the group for a couple of days more, this would cause severe hardship on the group, particularly the one with the broken leg. I think Grant cheated. Food is way down and it's protection from rain and cold since the tents and traps were lost. Cold and rainy weather at this time of year is life-threatening, so the group must get help as soon as possible. It is estimated that the group of 2 would move faster than if everyone else went along, and they can get help within 1 day. Then the helicopter could be sent to the campsite, of course. First priority of the group then is to go for help. However, in order to do this and survive, it is important to get warm and try to dry out wet clothes and sleeping bags. However, since it has started to drizzle and may rain, there is no assurance things will get dry soon. In that case, the party of 2 needs to leave quickly in wet clothes and take their wet sleeping bags with them. There is almost no food left, most of it having been lost in the rapids. About half should go to the 2 paddles, who will have less time to gather food, but who will presumably get to a food source sooner. The expert said as long as they have water, they could go for 3 days without food and still function adequately. On the 3rd day, they would get shaky. Those left behind can try and catch some fish to eat. Yeah. Okay, so numbers now. Duct tape is number 1. And it says this is the most essential thing because of the only way to repair the canoe. It can be used to patch up the 10-inch hitch to fix the broken gunwales. And then some other fun information about it. So that's duct tape. Number 2, personal flotation devices as number 2. These are useful mostly because they help keep the body warm. They can be worn as best to keep the torso warm and or used as seat pages or pillows on wet or clogged ground. Right now the clothes are all wet. Even when the personal flotation devices are wet, they still provide warmth. Fun fact about them. Number 3, map of the area. Let's see, sorry. Essential for the 2 people that are striking out to get help, it would be almost impossible to navigate out of lakes and to a road without the map. The plastic Coaching also makes the map useful as a makeshift umbrella. Number 4, sleeping bags. It's important to keep warm both for paddles and get as well as staying behind. Even though the bags are wet, they still provide some warmth since they are synthetic. I don't know how to say. It's important to dry them out as soon as possible, though. The bags can be used day or night for warmth. Number 5, matches. To start the fire as soon as the drizzle or rain stops and begin drying out the clothes. The extra set can be dried out and put on at the same time that some people strip down and get into the sleeping bags while their clothes dry. Fires can be started from the plentiful wood pieces in the area. The first is important for the cooking purposes and also as well as providing warmth for the group. If the weather had not started to drizzle and looked like it was going to rain, then matches would have been number 3 in order to get clothes and sleeping bags dry, especially for those living. Okay, number 6, food. Though there isn't much, it will still be very helpful. It must be divided and rationed so that it doesn't run out quickly. For those staying behind, it is hoped that within a day, fish can be caught. However, in the meantime, the food that remains should, however, somehow be protected from bears. Of course, somehow we'll figure it
Oh,
out.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And then it's number 7, clothes. When it stops raining, the extra clothes need to be dried out and 3 of the remaining people can wear them. This gently helps chances of survival for keeping dry increases warmth. Keeping dry increases warmth. Dry clothes are even more important than securing additional food to eat. Guys. So that's why it says 3 clothes, because the other 2, I don't know what happened with the other one. I guess the other one doesn't need clothes, but the other 2 are getting with wet clothes, I guess, and then just the other 3 that are behind are heavy clothes. The one with the broken leg doesn't get anything. Okay, and then number 8, fish poles. Number 8. Once the duct tape is used, the poles should be fit for fishing in the lake where northern valley and lake out, so average of 2 to 5 pounds. Fish can be caught and cooked over the fire. A stick may be used as a split to roast the fish or to makeshift pan for duct tape can boil the fish. Okay. Number 9, parachute cord. This has many uses as a line to dry clothes, though bushes can be used to secure the food in a tree away from bears, and if the duct tape runs out, the cord could be used for splinting the leg and for repairing the gunwales of the canoe. In order to do this, poke the hole near either side of the top using the jackknife that we have, I guess. Pull the cord through the holes and tie it securely. Number 10, insect repellent. For protection from mosquitoes and black flies, which are both persistent and thick, as well as wood ticks and deer ticks, which often spread Lyme disease. Number 11, the water purification tablets. 11. Says it's very important because the water in these areas is often not pursued. However, the disease to worry about is Giardia protozoa in the water. Sorry, my English. It takes 2 weeks to take effect in the body. By the time everybody should be home, water can be used to be boiled too. It can also be boiled instead. Number 12. It's the frisbees. That it was brought for recreation. It actually has some survival value. One use is to heat water in it, being careful that the heat does not melt the plastic. Fish can be boiled as
Whatever.
well.
You could not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, as well as hard candies in the water to provide a warm liquid for the group. Okay. The frisbee can be used to fan the fire through blowing on it works too, and it can be used to for
Total
Okay.
ridiculous.
Number 13, compass. This is not as important as the other items because the paddles are well equipped to navigate the lakes with the map, I guess. Okay, number 14, I guess we got it. Whiskey.
They didn't specify they could read the map. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
or to
It
keep
would depend on
warm.
how familiar you are with the area.
Yeah.
So for whiskey, some may think that this is useful for energy or to keep warm, but actually it has the opposite effect, and it should not be. It should only be used as a last resort for pain, broke bone, because alcohol causes dehydration and has
Oh.
colder. After drinking alcohol, the blood capillaries expand, and initially the driver feels warm. However, heat is actually being lost, and later there is a sudden feeling of being very, very cold.
Well, I was very wrong.
Hmm.
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then now we're supposed to discuss the expert ranking. What was significantly different between the group ranking and the expert ranking?
Oh, so many things.
Everything? Is that an answer? I mean, we got duct tape, right?
Yeah. And we got matches off by 1.
Parachute cord too.
He did say for matches that if it wasn't raining, we would get them. We would have them high. So
And the map, we were pretty close by 1.
yeah. I just
And
didn't see.
the fishing poles were off by 1. So
Yeah, I just didn't see the point of like frisbees and whiskey and like the whole argument behind it.
yeah.
Is Grant still here? I haven't heard him.
I'm still here.
Okay, do you like this plan, the expert ranking?
Well, my individual score I just calculated was 16.
16.
The most I was off for any item was 2.
How do you calculate it? Sorry, individual score.
So
Yeah, add 'em
individual
all up.
score is
Okay.
B minus D.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
So
Okay.
So this is my ranking. I had 1 for the map, 2 for duct tape, 3 for the flotation device, 4 for matches, 5 for the sleeping bags, 6 for the clothes, 7 for the fishing poles, 8 was for the food, 9 was for the repellent, 10 for the cord, 11 for the tablets, 12 for the compass, 13 for the whiskey, and 14 for the frisbee.
Good job.
We should have split up.
Yeah, we should have. Turns out Hollywood doesn't know what they're talking about.
Hollywood wants to sell movies.
Well, they got me.
What can go wrong goes wrong. Who buys a boring movie?
A risk if they split up. It doesn't even matter what you're talking about, like real life. If like even me and my husband, if we're in like in the woods and like he has to go get something for me, I'll get eaten by a bear or he's gonna die. The end of story for me. Like I don't think splitting would be the best option, but I guess the experts know better than me. So.
Awesome.
Wow.
Cool.
There's risks that have to be taken in anything, and if those 2 that you send know the area and have the skills, go. If they don't survive, the 4 are still sitting there waiting for the search party like they kind of wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
No matter what you do, there's always risk, because it's outweighing the risks with the pros and the cons of those decisions.
Sure. So now it's one minute. So it says, ask all group members to finalize. So finish their table scores, including the individual, group, and the persuasion scores at the bottom of the table. And then after we have that, it says that all subtracted calculation results should be recorded in the absolute value, meaning no negative numbers. Record the positive result in your table. So again, we don't have to do the individual one right now.
So and we send those to you?
I think we do it right now individually, because after we all do it together, we have to find we have to know the best member score or the lowest individual score, and then we need to decide as a group if we're a process game or the other option that we have.
Persuasion score?
Yeah, that's like the group ranking.
Oh.
So
we already did that.
So the individual score is A, which is B minus D. So your ranking compared to the expert ranking.
So
Yeah.
B minus D.
Yeah, but if you get minus numbers, you just make them positive numbers.
Oh, okay.
Then the group score is C minus the expert, which I've already done, which is 44.
Okay.
And then you need to do the persuasion score, which is your rankings compared to the group rankings. So, Tia, if you're ready for the scores, I can give you my scores.
So do I get everybody's numbers right now? Because I think each of us has different numbers. So we all submit this assignment. All I need to submit for the group is it says submit the link, the average member score, group score, and best member score.
Do we want to do that?
So we're
in
going to tell you the numbers.
Do we want to do that in like an email?
Well, do you have them right now?
I don't know.
I've done the group score for the group score will be the same for all of us.
Man, I was so off.
What's the group score?
Our group score is 44.
44. Okay, I'll put that down. 13 minus 3 matches.
So if you just copy that table into like Excel and just do the quick math, it helps.
1, 2, 10, 12.
Mine was 48.
Your individual score?
Yeah.
Mine was 16.
Yeah, mine's way higher than that because water purification tablets, they're number 11, and we had them very high. So
Is the persuasion score? That's B minus C, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 plus.
Oh man, my personal score is 60.
Well, let me check. I should have laughed because mine is pretty bad too.
What's yours?
Hold on, I'm putting on Excel because I can't. Looks like I can't do math.
Bruce?
I'm still adding.
Okay.
Yeah, equals. Oh, mine is 60 to be exact.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Twinners.
Yay. Individual score 60. Okay. Group score we got 44.
I get 36.
Ooh.
Nice.
Asian score. So what is it that we need to give to you?
So I
So
need to
what-
find who is the best one. So I guess we all know that. Wait, hold on. So we need the average member score. So what is that one mean? So
So
average
that's
all
averaging all of our individual scores.
What's our group score? 44?
44.
44, yeah.
And our persuasion score was total number, all numbers in column F. Okay, so what is the persuasion score? B minus,
C.
B minus C.
Sorry, guys. Zoom is being a butt right now and keeps kicking us off. Okay, so we needed to average the scores.
Yes. So
Okay.
So I think we gotta find number one. Let's see what other people did. So average member score. So what was your score?
Mine was 48.
48, and me and Ashley had 60 and 60. What did Grant said he had? It was like
I
12,
had 16.
16.
Yeah.
And anybody know what
This was like 36, 37,
36.
36.
okay, so this is 48 plus 120 plus 16 plus 36 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our average score is 44. Let's see, I actually will create this right now. Average score 44. And then group score, we said it was 44 too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Okay. Best member score, I think it was yours, right, Grant?
Mm-hmm.
For the individual score, yeah.
It says the best member score, so the lowest of all individual scores. Yes, so it was yours, and it was 16.
Yeah.
Member persuasion score. This is the score for the member with the best member score. So that was you again. What was yours?
46.
46. And then now we have to answer if it was process gain, yes or no. So this means yes, the group score was lower than the average member score, or no, if the group score was higher than the average member score.
No.
It was the same.
Mm-hmm.
So did we process gain or no? Yes or
No, our group score is 44. My persuasion score was 46. So we know we didn't make any gain.
Oh yeah, no gain.
I couldn't convince you guys that the risk was worth it.
Sorry. I should
You're
have heard you. Okay, I think that's all we had to see. I just need the link for the
Let's make
The
sure we
link-
probably post all 3 of them.
Yeah, I'll get all those. I can either put them all together in one video, or I could just do like all 3, whichever one's.
Let's do one video so we don't look like we're IT challenged.
I mean,
Hey! Yeah,
you, Kylie, doesn't matter.
yeah, I can just put them all in one. So
And I don't know when if there was a due date to submit this assignment, but oh, it says due June 29th.
Yeah,
So
now
it's
we
Saturday.
need to go write the conclusion. But we need
Mhm.
people to comment on our stuff, so we still need to make a post here relatively soon.
Oh yeah, because I, as a group leader, post this, and then we have to reply to 2 things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get the video up tonight. I'll get that sent out tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you so much, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay. No,
All
you're
right.
great. Thanks.
Mhm.
See you guys.
So, yeah.
Bye.